A very good morning to you all once again. So
Very good morning, sir.
today we are going to see a topic is from unit number 1. As we know, the name of the topic is a laser. So we are studying about the laser and its characteristics. For today's class, we are going to study the different types of lasers. We know what is a laser. Laser is defined as light amplification by the stimulated emission of radiation. The light is amplified by the stimulated emission of radiation is the principle of laser. So the laser is characterized based on 4 parameters. It should be highly intensity, it should be highly directionality, it should be highly coherent, and it should be monochromatic. So based on these 4 important characteristics, we are studying the types of the lasers. For today's class, we are going to study the different types of lasers. So basically there are 5 different types of lasers. They are solid state laser, gas laser, liquid laser, dye laser, and semiconductor laser. So how these lasers are classified? Here based on the active medium. Based on the active medium, the lasers are broadly classified into 5 types. What is this active medium? The active medium is the material. Active medium is the material. See here, the first type is the solid. So we are going to consider the crystal. We can consider a solid medium in the form of a bulk material, or in the form of a powder, or in the form of a crystal. But the medium should be a solid. So based on the active medium, based on the material, here we are classifying the lasers into 5 categories: solid laser, liquid laser, gas laser, dye laser, and semiconductor laser. So as per our syllabus, we are going to consider only 2 types of laser that I have highlighted in the red color. So as per our syllabus, we are going to consider solid state laser and we are going to consider gas laser. For solid state laser, example, ND YAG laser. ND YAG, YAG. ND means neodymium, YAG means yttrium aluminum garnet laser. So this ND YAG laser comes under the solid state laser. The second laser as per our syllabus is a gas laser. So we are going to consider CO2 laser, carbon dioxide laser. So these are 2 lasers are in our syllabus. So let's start the first type of the laser, that is solid laser. So the first type is our solid state laser. For solid state laser, we have taken example ND YAG laser. What is this ND YAG? First we have to know the abbreviation for this NDOG, acronym or expansion for this NDOG. ND means neodymium based laser. ND is the neodymium. So ND stands for neodymium. So this neodymium is the rare earth element, and YAG, yttrium, aluminium, garnet. So it is a 4-level solid state laser. So we have seen only the 2-level, ground level and the higher level. And in some cases, we have seen the metastable level also. So the line, the layer, the region is nothing but called as a level. So here, this solid state laser, NDOG laser, comes under the 4-level laser system. So we are having different types of the laser systems, but the NDOG laser comes under the 4-level laser system. So these are all the important characteristics of this solid state laser. So the NDOG laser, it's called a neodymium based laser. So this NDOG laser can also be called as doped insulator laser. Doped insulator laser. What is this doped insulator laser? Doping means process of adding. So here we have taken two different medium. ND is one medium and YAG is the another medium. Here, these are two medium are combined with together by a process, by a method. That fabrication method here called as the doped method. So that's why this solid state laser, NDOG laser, is also called as doped insulator laser. The insulator laser is nothing but the medium, yttrium, aluminium, garnet. So the element which we have chosen here in the solid state laser, all are an insulator. So this is a rare earth element. This is an insulator element. The process is the doped process. We are fusing the one medium into the another, just like a sandwich. We have seen the bread. We have taken a bread slice. So we have taken two bread slice. So in between these two bread slice, I am going to place a cheese. When we combine that, it seems to be in a single layer. So that is nothing but a dopant. So here, the neodymium ion is a doped with the yttrium aluminium garnet material. That's why it's called as doped insulator laser. So our first consideration is a solid state laser. For example, NDOG laser. It is a neodymium based laser, or we can call it as a doped insulator laser. ND stands for neodymium, rare earth element. YAG stands for yttrium aluminium garnet. It is a 4-level solid state laser system. So with this small introduction, we start our solid state laser. So whenever you are going to write this laser question, if suppose for your CAT-1 examination, if a question is asked, describe the working principle of a NDOG laser. So what you have to do, you have to first write the principle, that is the definition. First we have to write the principle. After mentioning the principle, we have to consider these characteristics. If you know these characteristics, if you know this entire parameter, then the working mechanism is very, very simple. So from this entire parameter, from type to the wavelength, from number 1 to the 8, if you know all this condition, then the entire working description is very, 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 very easy for you people. So let's start with characteristics of laser. So because the characterization is very, very important here, that's why we started with the characteristics. So I have started with the characteristics, then only I have given the principle. So for me, the characteristics seems to be an important one, because if I know all the conditions, then the entire mechanism which we are going to study is easy. That's why we are taking the characteristics as the first parameter while defining the solid state Nd:YOG laser. See here, the first one is the type. So what we are mentioning here, type. So it is a 4-level laser system. So the type means energy level. It is a 4-level system, solid state system. Second parameter is the active medium. So this Nd:YOG laser is the solid state laser, is a solid material. So initially we are considering this solid material in the form of a rod. We are considering this in the form of a rod. So the material is an Nd:YOG. That Nd:YOG material is fabricated by the doped insulator process. So after the dopant, we are just getting the material in the form of a rod. So the active medium is Nd:YOG rod. The third parameter is pumping method. Pumping method, as I already informed that we are having different types of the pumping methods: optical pumping method, electrical pumping method, thermal pumping method, inelastic method, direct conversion method. So totally there are 5 types of the pumping mechanisms. But here for this solid state Nd:YOG laser, the pumping mechanism, the pumping method is the optical pumping method. Optical pumping means the energy which we are going to pass over this rod, Nd:YOG rod, is the optical information. Optical information is nothing but a light. So the optical pumping method is just a pumping action, so through which we are going to pass the photons. Photon is nothing but a light. Photon radiation, light radiation over this Nd:YOG rod. So this will be the third parameter. The fourth parameter is the pumping source. So we know the method. The method is an optical method. Then we need a source. So that source is nothing but flash lamp. We can consider xenon flash lamp, or we can consider krypton flash lamp. So with the help of these 2 flash lamp, we are going to generate the optical radiation. That optical radiation in turn falls on the Nd:YOG rod. Then the mechanism will takes place. The fifth parameter is the optical resonator. So as I informed that the population inversion is the main process to get the laser action. The population inversion once is occurred, then the laser action will be takes place. So the laser action takes place along the optical resonator regions. We have to know what is an optical resonator. Here, the ends of the Nd:YOG rod. The ends of the Nd:YOG rod is going to be considered as the optical resonator. So we are not going to consider a mirror. We are not going to consider mirrors. So here the material, the rod itself is going to be act as the act as the optical resonator. How? So we are going to polish the end surface of the rod. End surface of the rod is going to be polished. As we know, optical resonator is the one end fully reflecting mirror and the another end is the partially reflecting mirror. So one end of the rod, it to be coated fully with the silver paint, and the another end of the rod, it should be partially coated with the silver paint. Fully coated act as a 100% reflecting mirror. Partially coating act as the 50% reflecting mirror. So the fifth parameter is the optical resonator. Then the sixth parameter is the power output. The power output is the the energy which we are subjecting over the material medium. Here the power output is approximately 70 watt. The nature of the output. So basically we are having two types of the outputs from the laser. One is a pulsed and another one is the continuous. So here in these solid state NdOG laser, we are capable of getting the two types of the outcome radiations. It's in the form of a pulsed and also it's in the form of a continuous beam. So this is the nature of the output. And the last parameter is the wavelength. Here the wavelength of the laser beam is 1.064 micrometer. So this 1.064 micrometer is the wavelength. So this wavelength is in the range of infrared region. The range of infrared region. So by using this NdOG laser, we are going to get the outcome radiation that should be infrared radiation. So first we have to know these characteristics of this laser. So we are considering the 8 parameters here to define the characteristics. First one is the type, solid state 4 laser type. Second one is the active medium. Active medium is the material, NdOG rod. Then we have to consider the active center. Actually, I have never mentioned here the active center. The active center is Nd3 plus ion. Nd3 plus ion. So here we are having Nd ion, yttrium ion. So from these two ionic medium, one only gives rise to the population inversion. One only occurs the laser action. So that we have to be considered as the active center. So the active medium is NdOG rod. The active center is Nd3 plus ion. Pumping method, optical pumping. Pumping source, xenon or a krypton flash lamp. Optical resonator. End phase of this NdOG rod. Power output 70 watt. Nature of the output pulsed or continuous. Wavelength of the output 1.064 micrometer. It's in the range of the infrared. So these are all the basic characteristics of the laser. While writing this question in your examination, if you write these parameters clearly without any mistake, then half of the marks will be allotted for this. For example, if you are going to appear for a 10 mark, this question. So without any hesitation, without any distraction, if the parameter seems to be a correct one, they will directly allot you the 5 marks. Because this parameter is very, very important. So here we have shown the type, we have mentioned the medium, we have mentioned the pumping method, we have mentioned the pumping source, we have mentioned the optical resonator region, we mentioned the outcome radiation, input power, we measured the outcome nature, and also we measured the output light, so in the range. So that everything is mentioned here in this single characteristics. So they ready to allot the marks, overall maximum marks for the correct presentation. The next, I have considered the principle here. So we know that it is a doped insulator laser. The reason we are doping the neodymium along the yttrium aluminum garnet. So these are different platform. These are different platform. These are two platform combined together to form a single medium. That's why it's called as a doped insulator laser. The Nd ion has many energy levels. So from this third point, we can confirm that the neodymium ion is the main source for to produce the laser action. So here we are having yttrium as well as the neodymium, but the neodymium ions replace the yttrium ion. So neodymium ion act as the majority charge carrier, and it will induce the laser action. So that's why we have mentioned that the ND ion has many energy levels. And due to the optical pumping, these ions are raised to the excited levels. Last point, during the transition from metastable state to E1 state, the laser action will be takes place. That is, we have already mentioned the region. 1.064 micrometer infrared wavelength we are getting. So where we are getting that radiation, because we know that we are having two types of the emission, spontaneous emission and the stimulated emission. So where the spontaneous transaction will be takes place and where the stimulated transaction will be takes place. So this is nothing but a stimulated medium. So under this medium only the laser action will be takes place. The principle here in the solid state laser is doped insulator laser, yttrium aluminum garnet, doped neodymium laser. Neodymium ion act as the active center. The transaction takes place from the metastable state to E1 level. So the laser action is in the range of 1.064 micrometer. So this is the construction diagram. The construction is very, very simple. We have considered the active medium. As I already informed that the active medium is NdOG rod. See, we have taken this NdOG rod. So this NdOG rod is placed inside the elliptical cavity. So we have taken the elliptical cavity. See here, this medium is nothing but an elliptical cavity. So inside this elliptical cavity, we placed our active medium, that is the NdOG rod. So along with this NdOG rod, we have placed the xenon or the krypton flash lamp. So xenon or the krypton flash lamp is also placed parallel to this active medium. Then with the help of the terminals, we are connecting the power source, and when the power supply is switched on, then the flash lamp will emit the radiation. The light will glow from this flash lamp. That radiation will falls on this NdOG rod. The elliptical cavity is considered because here the radiation should be falls on all the regions of this rod. So to make that radiation to falls on all the regions of this rod, we have taken the cavity as an elliptical cavity. This is the main reason. So when the xenon flash lamp or the krypton flash lamp is switched on, the photon energy, the light energy falls on this NdOG rod. Then the active medium, as we know, it consisting of neodymium ion and the yttrium ion. So these two ions acquire the energy. What we are subjecting here as an input, that energy is gained by these two ionic medium, NdOG and the yttrium. As per the author's assumption, they informed that these two medium gains the energy. After gathering the maximum amount of energy, this Y3 plus ion, the yttrium 3 plus ion is replaced by Nd ion. It means that the Nd ion is act as a majority carrier. It will be act as a majority carrier. So this Y is act as a minority carrier. So the majority wise, we have to see which one is more. So here the more concentration is on the neodymium side. So this neodymium is considered as an active center. So the active center only produce the laser action. So this is a construction. We are going to consider the elliptical cavity. Inside the elliptical cavity, we are going to place our active medium, that is the NdOG rod. In addition, we are placing the flash lamp. Then the end terminals of the flash lamp is connected to the battery and the resistance, load resistance, to avoid the fluctuation, to avoid the unwanted radiation, or to pass the steady radiation. So we are using this resistance here. This entire elliptical cavity is a sealed one actually. It's under the vacuumized condition. So the end surface of this NdOG rod are considered as an optical resonator. So according to the author's assumption, they considered this end surface of this material, NdOG rod. So this surface and this surface, they have taken this surface as an optical resonator. So here along the one end, they have shown the laser radiation. So it means that the end which was mentioned here, it acts as a partially reflecting end. It acts as a partially reflecting end. So partially reflecting end means 50% only we have quoted here. Whether it's a solid, whether it's a silvered plate or some other just enameled plate for avoid the radiation. But the coating here should be the partial one. So according to the author, they have taken the silvered medium. So the silvered medium coated here is partially coated. Here it's fully coated. So in the fully coated region, it will not transmit, but it will reflect back. It will reflect back. So along this partially coated region only, we are getting this laser action. So this is the construction diagram for the solid state, that is NdOG laser. We have to draw the elliptical cavity. Then we have to place the rod inside the elliptical cavity. Then the flash lamp. The flash lamp is connected to the power supply, then to the load resistance. Then the end surface we are assuming as an optical resonator. One end as a fully reflecting mirror, 100% reflecting end, and another partially reflecting, 50% reflecting end. So through the 50% reflecting end, we are getting the laser action. We are getting this laser action. So this is the construction diagram. See, you can draw this construction. You can make your own words and you can use the description also. Meaningful. So here, the working mechanism of the laser, whatever be the laser, whether it's a solid state, whether it's a liquid, whether it's gas, whether it's a dye, whether it's a semiconductor, whatever be the laser, the working principle, the working mechanism is explained only with respect to this energy level diagram. So the energy level diagram is very, very important. If you are forgot to draw this construction diagram, no issues. But if you are not able to draw this energy level diagram, it will create a problem. Because based on this energy level diagram only, we are showing the laser outcome. So through which medium to which medium the laser action will be takes place. So here, as I already informed that the laser type is a 4-level laser system. So how we are saying these as a 4-level laser system? Because we can able to see these 4 layers here. E1, E2, E3, E4. So these E1, E2, E3, E4 are the 4-level system. So here, initially, generally, or basically, the atoms are in the ground state. That ground state atom are excited to the higher end state. How we are making this ground state atom to move to the higher end state? By subjecting the energy. See here, all the atoms are initially in the ground state. We have to imagine that the NdOG ions are in the stable, stationary medium, unchanged medium. When the flash lamp is switched on and the radiation is falls on this medium, when the radiation is gained by this Nd ion, Nd plus ion, then they will become as an active medium. Then they will start to move from their position, initial to the final. So the same we have assumed here. Initially, the atoms are in the ground state. Initially, the atoms all in the ground state. We are subjecting the energy, optical energy, light energy. That light optical signal information is gained by these Nd3 plus ion. After acquiring the maximum amount of energy, that Nd3 plus ion goes to this higher order state, E3 level and the E4 level. Here, according to the author, they have taken the two higher levels. One is the E3 and another one is the E4. So the higher order energy states takes place with reference to the wavelength of a 0.80 micrometer and a 0.73 micrometer. So these are all the input wavelength, which makes the atoms to transmit from one region to the another region with the energy. So the ground state region goes to the two higher order state. One is a E4 state with the energy 0.73 micrometer, and another to the E3 state with the energy 0.80 micrometer. Now we have to imagine that the atoms are in the higher states, in the E4 state and in the E3 state. So based on the lifespan, based on the lifetime, the atoms which was now in the E4 and the E3 state, they will jump to the E2 state. They will jump to the E2 state. See, here we have directly given the arrow marks. So these arrow mark mentioned that, specified that the atoms are jump directly without inducement. So when the atoms are jump directly without inducement, that emission are called as spontaneous emission. Here E4 to E2 spontaneous, E3 to E2 spontaneous. So when the emission is in a spontaneous emission, as we know that the laser action will not be takes place in the medium. So through that emission. So now we have to imagine that all the atoms are in the metastable state. All the atoms are in the metastable state. So now this metastable state is assigned as a E2, E1 is a ground state. Population inversion occurred. So we know the condition for population inversion. The number of atoms in the higher state is more compared to the atom in the ground state. Here the numbers are very, very large because of the lifespan. The atoms which was in the E4 and the E3 level, they not hold there for the long time. They all jump to this metastable state. So they accumulated here in the metastable state. The population inversion occurred. Once the population inversion occurred, from the metastable state, when it jumped to this ground state, the laser action will be takes place. So this is called the stimulated emission. When the stimulated emission occur, the laser action will also taken place. It's in the range of 1.06 micrometer. So this is the process. This is the energy level diagram for a solid state laser, and this be the working mechanism. So here we have mentioned non-radioactive decay, non-radioactive radiation. Non-radioactive decay is nothing but a spontaneous emission. Under this non-radioactive decay, no laser action will be takes place. So wherever in the energy level diagram the non-radioactive decay is mentioned, there we can confirm that the laser action will not be takes place. So this medium, that is E2 to E1, it's called as the radioactive decay because the laser action takes place from here. So this is an important just a parameter. The energy level diagram is very, very important here in the laser mechanism. So this will be the working principle. So then the advantages, a very simple construction. Mechanism is very simple. No need to write more. So we can reduce the points and we can write what is needed. That's enough. So the advantages of using these types of the laser. So it has a high energy output. The output is very high. It has a very high repetition rate operation. It is much easier to achieve population inversion. So this is not on a complicated one. The structure is very, very simple as compared to other types of the laser. But the disadvantages, the electronic energy level structure of a Nd:YAG laser is complicated. So the energy level seems to be a complicated one. So that's why we have considered the other types of the laser. So for every drawback, for every demerits, there will be some merit. There will be some invention. So the failures only makes the step for the success. So here, this failure makes the invention of the second type of the laser, that is called as the gas laser. So this is the advantage and the disadvantages of this laser. The next, applications. So where all we are using this Nd:YAG laser? So in many applications, as well-known applications, we are having this Nd:YAG laser, but we doesn't know about these lasers. See, if you are going for the therapy, they call us a Q-switched laser. If you are going for the facial therapy, if you are going for any just a treatment, skin treatment, so particularly for the facial therapy and for the skin treatment, they are using this Nd:YAG laser. See here we can able to see that Nd:YAG laser is penetrated over a healing point. So here we are having some sort of an defect, or we are having some problem here. So that problem is rectified without operation. So the problem is rectified without any just damages. So we can say that without blood loss, without any blood loss, without any wound mark, so we can make the operation to be the successful one by penetrating these types of the lasers, Nd:YAG laser. See here I have taken the second example. So we can see that for the facial therapy, we are using this Nd:YAG radiation. So the first, before we can able to see the dark spots. We can able to see there are a lot of scar marks are there in the face. After penetrating this Nd:YAG laser, we can see the output. So numbers are minimized here as compared to the previous figure. Here we can able to see that the dark layers are very, very less. So we can remove the layers. And also if you want to remove your tattoo, so the most of them nowadays are using the tattoos. So if you want to remove your tattoo, so you can penetrate this Nd:YAG laser with some proper doctor prescription. By penetrating this Nd:YAG laser over the particular spot, so it's a highly directionality, it's highly monochromatic, it's highly coherent and highly intensity. That's why we are passing that Nd:YAG laser on the particular spot alone. We are not damaging the other tissues. We are damaging only that particular tissues which we want to destroy. So these tattoos are removed by penetrating the high radiation on that particular spot alone. We can able to see after that the tattoo is completely removed from the hand. So the Nd:YAG laser is mostly applicable in the application part.
Sir, it have any side effect?
No side effect. No side effect.
Okay, sir.
If it has any side effect, then we won't penetrate over the human body. Then won't be penetrated over our tissues.
Okay.
See,
sir,
we are penetrating through our face because the radiation is very less.
Okay,
when compared to the other type of the lasers, here the radiation which we are getting is very, very less, is in the order of 1.064 micrometer.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Infrared region. So the region is very just a minimized one. That's why we are using this in our medical application. Not
Okay,
only
sir.
in the medical application, we are using this one. Other than the medical application, we are using these in industries and also in the military purpose. So the second, actually the second medical application here is we are passing the laser radiation to our eyes for the operation, cataract operation. So nowadays, we, as you know that the laser treatment is going on for the eyesight operations, non-therapy laser eye operation. So this non-therapy laser eye operation is also done by this Nd:YAG laser. And the another one example I have taken. So this be the welding machine actually, laser welding machine, which we are using for the cutting purpose. So whatever the shape we need, for example, we can consider a blade, the shaving blade. We know the edge, how they sharp and how they nicely cut, so that everything is made with the help of the laser. So we are using the laser radiation to make the blade. Then only we can able to get a proper shape. So these pulsed Nd:YAG laser welding machine is also used in the industrial side for the cutting and for the welding purpose. So other than this, the last example I have taken, we are having a plenty of examples, but I have chosen only few. So we are using this Nd:YAG laser as the Nd:YAG range finder and the target designator. So to target the distant object, to destroy the enemy's tanks, to destroy the enemy's vehicle, for the just a high focus, for to clear target, we are using this Nd:YAG laser. So we are using this Nd:YAG laser in military purpose. We are using this Nd:YAG laser in industrial purpose, and also we are using this Nd:YAG laser in medical purpose. So these be the applications of these Nd:YAG laser. So with this, I would like to conclude my today's class. If you have any queries, you can ask your doubt now. If you want to ask anything, you can ask it now. Have any doubt? Ishwar?
Clear, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, ma, good, very good.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
active center.
Active center, yes.
Sir, Nd:YAG active medium is Nd:YAG rod. Then active
Yes.
center Nd3 plus
Active center is Nd3 plus ion. Nd, neodymium ion is the active center here.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, ma. So in the next class, I will show the animated video also. Before going to start
Okay,
the next topic, I will show this animated video for Nd:YAG laser.
sir.
Then we start our new topic. So if you have any doubt, you can raise your doubt. So otherwise, we can end our class.
The laser have any points, sir?
Points in the sense, what you are asking?
Sir, some operation is going. It have zero. That's the point. Any points are
Yeah, first we have to locate the object. Actually, if you are going for any operation, if you have a lump inside your body, for example, if you have a small lump in your hand side,
okay,
if you have a lump in your hand side, so first they have to diagnose it by taking a proper scan or by taking an X-ray. First, we have to diagnose the size of the lump. After measuring the size of the lump, After knowing the size and after knowing the shape, then we have to decide the penetration. So how much of radiation is needed for to destroy the lump, for to cure the disease. So it based on the wound and it based on the defect. So without knowing the defect, we can't penetrate the radiation just like that. So first we have to diagnose and then we have to apply.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, any other route?
Sir, please explain energy level diagram.
Yeah, sure. See here, you can see that initially all the atoms are in the ground state. So this with the whatever the laser you are going to consider, you have to imagine that all the atoms are in the ground state. That is, the atoms are in the E0 level. This E0 leveled atom is going to exit by acquiring the energy. So what we are going to do, we are going to subject the photon energy, photon light energy from the xenon or from the Kapton flash lamp. The light radiation falls on the NdOG rod. The NdOG rod consisting of elements. That element we have taken here. So that element gains the energy. What just signal we are giving, that information is captured by the element. After gathering the energy, these NdOG ion is exit to this higher state. Initially it's in the ground state. After gathering the energy, they will go to the higher order, E3 and the E4. So E3 and E4 are the higher order state. Here the lifetime is very, very less. So the atom will not able to stay here for a long time. They try to jump to some other level. That jump is nothing but it's on the metastable level. So here the metastable level, the atoms are accumulated more. The atoms which jumps from E3 falls on the metastable. The atoms from E4 falls on the metastable. Just we can imagine that we are having the more number of atoms here. When the atoms are more in the higher state compared to the ground state, it's called population inversion. Once the population inversion takes place, then the laser action will take it. So this is our condition. So we are having totally 4 levels: E1, E2, E3, E4. Let imagine E1 be the lower level, E3, E4 be the higher level, and E2 be the metastable level. Initially the atoms are in the ground level. After subjecting the energy, the atoms will go to the higher level. From the higher level, they all accumulated in the metastable level. From the metastable level, when they jump to the E1 level, they produce the laser action. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can raise. Otherwise, we can wind up. So I have given you the just a small worksheet for your laboratory. I think we have conducted an experiment, vernier caliper. I have given a small worksheet at the end. So I request you all to just measure the readings and be ready, because Saturday we are having a lab class. So before going to start the next experiment, so I want to ask the solution for it. I can call anyone randomly, so they have to answer for it. So thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.